Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. Doc, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Star.
Good morning, my brother.
Thank you very much for your time.
Great.
You had written to the EC about certain discrepancies with the electoral roll that you discovered during the voter exhibition exercise. Have you received a response from the EC?
Yes, let me say good morning to your cherished listeners. They wrote back to us indicating that we should have a meeting with them on Friday, 5th September, this coming Friday, over the issues that we raised so that we can see how can they rectify them. And then in between, they quickly held a press conference yesterday to admit to all that we have stated, some of the issues that we raised. Before even meeting them on Friday, they've already admitted to all the wrongs that we've identified in the register. And it has strengthened our position that, look, we'll stop nothing in pushing that this Electoral Commission register should be audited. In fact, forensic audit should be commissioned to find out the extent of damage they have caused to this register. Because the admission yesterday was serious. It was serious, mind-boggling. A commission that touted itself as transparent and all that. All along, they have been hiding a lot of things. They've been hiding a lot of things, and we push them until they are now admitting. If we hadn't pushed them, you can imagine the kind of election that we're going to have in 2024 December. Imagine the NDC had not put eagle eyes on this electoral commission. Your guess would have been as good as mine, the kind of elections that they were going to conduct for us. We can't accept this kind of thing. Illegal transfer, mass movement of voters, bloating of the register, and when we push and caught them now, they are not saying they are errors, genuine errors. There's no error in the election. All along we're saying it, there's no error. Look, anytime there's error, it's a calculated attempt to rig election. The moment you catch them, then they bring in words like error. If you don't catch them, the words like error doesn't exist. They'll tell you that it's free, fair, transparent, because you have no evidence to show that it was an error. Because look at what happened in 2020. I was surprised they were priding themselves at 2020. In an election that a whole electoral commissioner had to declare the results several times, and you describe that as being credible, and you want to use that one as a basis, we are not going to accept that kind of conduct this year. And that is why our eagle eye is on them. Because what they did, yes.
Now, the EC has taken some steps. We understand in certain areas the EC has put on suspension some of their district directors. Investigations are being conducted and all of that. So some steps are being taken in that regard. Are you satisfied with the actions that the EC are beginning to take?
I don't trust the judgment of this current EC as it is set up. No, we don't. We will not accept any thing fell short of forensic audit and an external body should conduct such an audit. Not this electoral commission. I'll give you evidence why we don't trust them. This electoral commission, during the limited registration exercise, the same Pusiga, a gentleman was caught using fake Ghana card in registering over 17 people. He was caught. The eagle eye of our officers caught him and handed him over to the police, locked him up, and later on released him on bail. The Electoral Commission came out with a press release, in fact, accepting that, yes, actually there was an illegal use of a fake Ghana card in registering these 17 people. And that the man has been interdicted and they will come out with an investigative report. Up till now, have you heard anything about that report? That officer who was involved in that. Look, BVDs, under this same electoral commission that we are talking about, security cameras all over the place. Go there, it's like a war zone. Ammo car parked, soldiers, heavily built soldiers are following the commissioners all around. Yet somebody managed to steal BVDs and BVRs in the commission. And it has to take the NDC to expose this. What has come of the 35 questions we asked them? 35 germane questions concerning the BVDs lost and then the BVRs. What has come of it? They are investigating up to now. They have not brought in any report. Their own officer at Lantam was seen publicly declaring support for MPP at their MPP primaries in Lantam. A petition was written to them about it. Up to now, they are yet to bring the finalization of the report. They say they are still investigating. The officer is still sitting there. And this issue, you want me to believe that the one who criminally used people's ID cards to transfer them without their knowledge, the only punishment to have interdicted the officer. And they are telling me that they are doing investigation across their districts. And you trust such an issue. We won't trust them. We will not. We will not trust them today. We will not trust them tomorrow until an external body audit their register, because this could be widespread. The damage they have caused to this register, my brother, it could be widespread, because they admitted that they did not do, the gentleman did not do liveliness check of the verification of the officer. That means that they violated CI 127, Regulation 22.1, which mandates that a returning officer must see the person. In fact, every applicant who is going in for transfer must appear in person before a returning officer in the constituency. This was not done. They admitted it in their press conference. This was not done. Similar thing they did the same proxy registration. People want to do proxy. Their biometrics were not taken. Ask them, did they take anybody biometric? They should give us evidence of biometric having taken for all those who applied for proxies. This is an error within Electoral Commission, and we cannot allow this kind of thing to continue, because we are not going to accept any short change this coming election.
So what are the demands you are going into the meeting that you have with them? What are the demands you are going into the meeting with?
One, I've just given you the demand already. We have already
a forensic audit. And then is that the only demand you have, or you have other demands?
We have the other discrepancies. You see, yesterday they were just touching on one shooting. The other one, we are keeping it our chest. Want to show them on Friday. We will give it to them. You remember we mentioned certain discrepancies that we discovered in the PVR, and we've cataloged them properly. Since they've spoken about few and their press conference, that is why we are responding to what they've done. For the main one, we'll meet them on Friday. And we'll even show them more evidence than what they came to say yesterday. That's why I say they don't know the extent of damage they have caused in the register. And they are sitting in there. You just go and transfer people without their knowledge, move people from their polling station to another polling station without their knowledge. And you sit down and say your register is credible, it's robust, you are not going to rig the election. If you were not caught, all these ills that we have pointed out, who would have seen it? If the NDC hadn't pushed it, out of the what political party they say they have on this register, how many of them, our main opponents, they are comfortable with it? Why are they comfortable with that ills in the register? Why are they quiet and they are not saying anything about it? So they don't see anything wrong with the illegal transfers. And you are telling me errors have been happening since 92. Who told you errors have been happening? As if they were just born yesterday.
I mean, they would say that it is for things like this. That is why there is an exhibition exercise. So people you go and check to see if your name is not in the register. If your name is not there, you raise the issue and the issues are dealt with. It's the same reason why political parties are provided with a provisional register, so that some of these issues can be identified and rectified before the December elections come.
Let me tell you, this is not the first time we've been doing exhibition. Some of us were fortunate to participate in the 92 process up to this year, and we are still alive. And we have all institutions of all that we have done. Let me tell you, when the time you go for exhibition, the things that we do in the exhibition is this thing that you've just mentioned, like you've come to correct your name, you've seen that your name is not in that register, then you fill in inclusion form. These are small issues that we do. But we've never had issues of illegal transferring people. This is the first time we are seeing that somebody will mask people ID cards and go and sit in the comfort of his office and transfer them without their knowledge. This is the first time we are seeing such things. Do you get that? This is the first time an EC will come and admit that I've added data of my old register, 2020. 2023 and push them into the current register without even knowing that my data has increased. When I know that my data is 20,000 and I go and pick a data of about 5,000 somewhere and add it to it, don't you think I'm going to have 25,000? So if I'm printing a document and I'm seeing 25,000, wouldn't you trigger me that, hey, this is wrong because the data I have is 20,000, not 25,000. You don't push 25,000 into the constituency and say that it's a genuine mistake because people caught you in the field and said that, look, my brother, the register you brought, instead of 20,000, you have brought 25,000. Where from the 5,000? Then you turn around and say we should come and clap for you because you have seen it's a genuine mistake. Who told you it's a genuine mistake? You wanted to rig 5,000 votes. But we stopped you. And we are saying that this could be widespread because now that you've admitted you brought in all data of 2020 and added them to this current data. If not eagle eye that can see this, you people who are not into election management, you don't know this. You don't know this. You don't see anything wrong with this. You are not watching these people. We are watching them closely. And we are saying that was an attempt to rig the election. It was meant to rig so that if you don't see it, somebody somewhere will manage this 5,000 and just get away with it. December 7th. It won't happen. It won't happen.
So with this,
should be grateful that NDC Eagle Eye is helping to restore our democracy.
So with this forensic audits that you are calling for to happen, you're expecting that it's going to help clean the register of any names that are not supposed to be on, rectify any discrepancies that are supposed to be there, or are you expecting that it will be found that the voter or register or the electoral roll is not credible and maybe a new one has to be compiled? What's the end game there?
We are not looking for a new register. We are not looking for, let's make it very clear. The NDC is not demanding for a new register. The NDC is saying that this current register was properly compiled by the district offices. And we all follow it. Our officers, we have the print out. Look, nobody has problem with 2020 register. Have we raised issue with the 2020 register? We are not talking about it. We are not talking about the 2023 register. We all participated. After it was done, added to the 2020, it was used for the district assembly election. Meanwhile, you people went and mess it up again in the district assembly election. When it comes to printing the register, you printed it and remove some people's names again. The district assembly, this problem we are talking about, it started in district assembly election. Almost 26,000 names were removed when it came to the voting time. And we asked, what kind of software were you using to add the 2023 to the 2020? That caused people's names to be taken out from the register. At IPAC, we talked to them and they said they were bringing them, they managed to bring back all these names back. And the same problem is now coming. And we are saying that no, it appears somebody is at your head office at the IT department manipulating the data or doesn't even understand data management. That is the problem, because if you go to the district offices, they don't have these problems because they did the registration. Every district officer knows his data. And our officers, they also know their data. Because when they do registration, they give us print out. So we can easily put the print out together and know how many people are registered. And we have their data, their names, everything is there. So when you go to the district office, they can easily tell you that, look, these are the number of people who have transferred. That is the problem they have at the national level here. Because the districts don't have this problem. It's a national. Put all these things together and putting them together, then you go and sit down and messing up everything. So that's what we are saying. Do an audit. And central body take time. Look at the district data as they move to the national. How did they put them together? It appears this current EC, their IT department, they cannot do it. If you leave them, I am telling you, even the final register, you will see that your name will be sent to Zwarungu polling station. I'm telling you.
So you have that meeting with the EC, and I believe that you're going to try and iron out all those issues and forcefully put forth your demands. So away from that a little bit before I let you go, going into this 2020 elections, in terms of the NDC's preparation, especially for recording election results, transmitting election results on your own, and all of that. What are the plans that the NDC has? Are you ready? Because one of the knocks at the NDC is that you've not been able to compile your own results, especially for the 2020 elections. What's the story looking like this time around, going into the 2024 elections?
as we speak now, even if election is conducted today, the NDC will be the first to declare a result. I'm telling you today, we are hugely prepared for the election, the conduct of it. That is why we are catching them every day. Can't you see that the preparedness of the NDC has brought for the inefficiency of the Electoral Commission? If we are not prepared, do you think we would have been catching them every day? This is how prepared we are for the election. In fact, eagle eye. Every bit of the processes, we have perfected it, and we have put in a team that is working. As we speak now, our agents are being trained across the country. Professionals, all over. That's why I'm saying that if elections were conducted today, by 7 o'clock, the NDC would have been giving you results. We did it before, Assin North. You saw it at Kumewu, you saw it at Assin North.
I mean, but the Assin North is just one constituency.
I am saying that
we're talking about it on a national level.
I am saying that was a pilot. Didn't you see the pilot work effectively for the NDC? So I'm saying that, so hold on and see how it will be rolled out in the national scale.
So members of the NDC who are listening to you can be rest assured that this time around, in terms of transmission of results, your IT department, everything is set and ready and robust.
I am telling you that December 7th, 11 p.m., you would have heard that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is declared winner.
11 p.m.
I'm telling you.
Polls will close at 5.
5 to 11 is not even long hour.
And you are saying by 11 p.m. you would have collated all your results.
I am telling you, watch it. Watch it. The mechanism we are putting. That is why we are following this EC. Don't disturb the register. Keep the register as it is. We want to beat these people and beat them hands down. In fact, we are beating MPP plus EC together. That is the election we are going into. We are contesting the election against EC and MPP. That is how that's how prepared we are for this election. And because as the Electoral Commission, the way they are set up is equivalent to MPP. There's no difference between the EC and the MPP. They are the same body.
I mean, how do you say so? The EC is an independent body, an independent body with a constitutional mandate to conduct elections in this country. And so, I mean, how do you equate the EC to the MPP?
Dr. Apiahine is sitting there as a commissioner. Where did he come from? I'm asking you, you know him. Go and bring your director of IT and elections for Bono region, a communicator of NPP, known everywhere. You go and make him commissioner of Electoral Commission, and you are telling me that this is an independent body.
Are you blaming him for some of the things that are happening right now?
I'm saying that when he was not there, did they have problems? I'm not blaming him. I'm not asking that he's the cause of all that. But I'm telling you that this is a known MP who is a commissioner sitting there. So you want me to believe that this is an independent commission? Is that how we describe independent commission? This is a full-blooded blue color person sitting there. You know him. You know him better than I do. So what do you expect? What do you expect? That is the difficulties they are having. You see there. So the one causing the difficulty for them is from Flagstaff House. It's the president. Why should we appoint people like that into the commission? We are going to have this problem. We are going to have this problem. Why do you go and appoint a full-blooded blue colors into the commission? And you would expect we, NDC, to think that this is an independent commission. So we believe that everything coming out there is a calculated attempt to rig the election. They are not genuine mistakes. They are calculated attempt to rig. And we have gotten them. They must reverse everything. An audit must be conducted to this register to know the extent of damage these people have caused into the register before we get to December 7th.
When you say it's a deliberate, and a calculated attempt, I mean, apart from the infractions, that you found out and the explanations that the EC has given, and of course, you mentioning that, Dr. Apiahine used to communicate for the MPP and has been appointed there, and all of that. Is there anything concrete that you have to stand on to say that the EC is in cahoots with the NPP to rig this election, and there's a certain calculated and deliberate attempt. Is that not? Do you have any concrete evidence to show?
I've given you the concrete evidence. They admitted to them yesterday. I don't know which one you want me to do again.
Well, of course, they admitted to infractions that were raised. That doesn't mean does that necessarily mean that they are in cahoots with the NPP planning to rig the election?
I've given you an example. I'm saying that if the CICs do this, don't transfer people when you don't see them. The regulation is there. Somebody is to train somebody to do that. And the person sat in his office and decided to use people's cars without their knowledge, transferring them out from constituencies to another place. Is it not a calculated attempt? Is it not a criminal act? Is it not deliberate? Is that not deliberate? Go and take dictionary. Even the Longman dictionary we used to use when we were in secondary schools in the 70s and 80s, it will tell you the meaning of deliberate. He's doing intentional. Are you getting it? That's what I'm saying. That he's doing it intentional.
And have you been able to link that intentional act by some of the EC officers who have been implicated? Have you been able to link it to the NPP? Have you been able to do that?
I am saying that you have appointed NPP apparatchiks into the commission. And these problems have started coming. Who caused them?
So do I hear you saying that Dr. Apiahene is the cause of some of these problems? Because when you say NPP apparatchiks, the only person you've been able to mention is Dr. Apiahene, who allegedly was a member of the NPP.
There are several of them.
So who else? Who else?
Commissioners. Look, let me tell you. These commissioners who were put in there, the recent one, the other lady is there. We know her. Sarah, the lady that they put in with Apiahene. We know her. The mother is even a high commissioner edition, consulate in Nigeria. She was a woman, a vice chairperson of Northern Region. The husband is a former ambassador. They are all here. We know them. Who doesn't know all these people? Or you want me to give you the history of all the people sitting in there?
So are they the cause? Are they the cause of the infractions? Are you saying they are the cause of the infractions?
I am saying that they are not the people I am targeting and saying that they are the cause. But I'm saying that if issues of this nature start coming up, and we have commissioners that can be identified as MPP people, everybody knows. We even wrote to the Council of State, as if you don't know this. We wrote issues about their appointment to the Council of State. Did you see the response the Council of State gave to NDC? They were talking of qualification. Since they are qualified, they are comfortable with that. Okay, tomorrow, I'm hugely qualified. I'll be put there as the electoral commission and see you media, you talk about it. Tomorrow, if I'm appointed electoral commissioner of Ghana, what will you be this media say about it? Is that the kind of thing that we want in Ghana? And I'm saying that when issues of this nature start coming, what do you expect? If you have an attack dog in your house, if you have an attack dog in your house, and thieves come to the house and pick items, and the attack dog is looking at them and will not back at them, what will be your suspicion?
All right.
Number three, what would be your suspicion? Answer it before we leave this conversation. That is the thing we are looking at.
Dr. Rashid.
The dog is just looking at them walking out with their items and will not back, will not say anything.
All right. Dr. Rashid.
Something might be wrong somewhere.
Tanko Computer. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you've spoken to us this morning here on the Morning Star.
I'm grateful.
Yes, but I mean, this is just on a lighter side. Before you go, your name, Rashid Tanko Computer. The computer. People, because it's not the first time we've spoken to you, and people have been wondering. I mean, is that a name that you actually added? Is it a name that was given to you? I mean, this is just on the lighter side.
Oh yeah, it's my name. It's my name. In fact, my passport, my Ghana card, my voter ID card, all my documentation, you will see the computer there. If you don't add a computer, you've just murdered my name. It's part of my name. I'm surprised I have to be explaining it because I saw people. I have a friend who is called Laugh. And I don't know why people don't ask her always, why are you called Laugh?
Well, it's because probably nobody has heard anyone called Computer. Is it a name which was given to you at birth, or you adopted it along the way?
I just got up and got to know that I'm called Computer. I don't know. Maybe I have to do further checks with my parents.
Is that why you decided to go into IT?
It is well.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer, for speaking to us this morning here.
I'm grateful. grateful.
On the Morning Star. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC. They'll go into a meeting with the EC. They say they want a forensic audit of the electoral roll, and of course, he's been speaking about a few other issues that the NDC has concern with here on the Morning Star this morning. It's 8:26 a.m. and moving away from the EC and politics and all of that, we'll try and connect with the Ghana National Fire Service because at the Zongo Lane at the Central Business District in Accra, there is a fire that, a fire that broke out. Of course, we've been reporting on this fire on our bulletins. But for a number of days now, about 4 or 5 days now, this fire has been raging, and portions of a building that was set on fire has come down, has been raised down. I remember that here at Star News, we spoke to Elizabeth Saki, who is the mayor of Accra, the chief executive officer of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, and she attributed this fire outbreak to people illegally converting some buildings into warehouses and storing things that are not supposed to be stored there, among other things. As it stands now, the Ghana National Fire Service, we understand, is still trying to work around the clock to douse the flame, to bring the flame under control. There are embers of it in that building and in that enclave, and for a long time it's been just going on. Fortunately, there haven't been any human casualties. So no market woman, no pedestrian, no civilian, or no fire officer has been injured, even after the collapse of portions of some of those buildings at the Zongo line or Zongo Lane in the Central Business District of Accra. And so we'll try and get to the Ghana National Fire Service and find out from them, what really is the difficulty? Have they been able to ascertain the cause of the fire? What is happening now with regard to actually getting to a point where they can safely say that they've been able to douse the flame? Music from Tupac Omar Shakur. He calls this one Changes. You're still listening to the Morning Star here on Star 103.5 FM, and I told you that there has been a fire. There's been a fire just at the Central Business District of Accra along the Zungu Lane. It's been a while now. The Ghana National Fire Service is working round the clock to make sure that they're able to douse the flame. I've been joined on the phone line by Timothy Osafo Afum. He's head of public relations for the Ghana National Fire Service. Officer, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Star.
Good morning, my pleasure to be on your show.
Yes, and we're also pleased that you've taken the time to speak to us this morning. How long has that fire been raging now? How long has it been on now?
So it's been 3 days today.
It's been 3 days.
3 days today, yes.
And do we know, as at now, from your investigations, what caused that fire?
As I speak to you now, we don't know what exactly caused the fire yet.
And what is the nature of the fire now? Like, what is it looking like now?
So, as of now, the fire is already under control. There are just some pockets that we are dealing with. I am very sure we'll bring the operation to an end by late afternoon today, per my estimation. And so that is what is happening now.
You mentioned that the fire is under control, and of course, you're working around the clock to try and deal with this. But it's still on. What is the problem? What is the challenge with completely quenching this fire?
So we have what we call in our terms mixed cargo. Mixed cargo means a variety of items that are packed together, and so it becomes very difficult to use one particular medium to extinguish the fire. You know, we have classes of fire, and each class of fire has its particular extinguishing media. And so once you have that type of mixed cargo, it becomes then very difficult to completely extinguish it, because you can't use water alone, you can't use foam alone. And these are the two major extinguishing media that we use. That is why it has become very difficult for the fire to go off completely.
Are there any, estimations of when you'd be able to completely deal with the fire?
Yes, that is why I indicated earlier on that, per my estimation, by late this afternoon, we should be able to bring the operation to a complete halt.
What is the extent of damage to property?
So almost every item in that particular structure is gone. Not everything, but almost. So let me say about 90% of every item in that structure is gone.
About 90%. We understand portions of the structure also collapsed?
Yes, that is anticipated, because if you look at the heat that has been exerted to the building, you can understand 3 days today, and if fire is still burning, it is and well understood why portions of that structure has caved in.
So with that structure, does this then mean that the entire, the entire structure, the structural integrity of the entire structure has been compromised now?
I cannot say the entire structure. Part or portions of that structure have lost its integrity, and that is how come parts are caving in. But when we finish completely, then we'll be able to do complete assessment to see whether the whole structure should be pulled down or only a portion of it.
Very well. We hope that you're able to do your work and do it well, as you are doing. Some of the market women were asking to be allowed to salvage, some of their wares that was burning. Why was that a challenge?
Right. So the nature of the fire was such that it is important to conserve lives. You see, you allow people to go in there. You have explosions and the rest. They go in there and there is an explosion. What do you do? So it is better you stay away to keep your life than to go together with your property.
Was there a particular difficulty, for example, in getting access to the place, getting water to the place, where fire hydrants working? Was there any particular challenge in that regard?
So in this particular operation, fortunately, Ghana Water was on hand to support us. So we did not get much problem when it comes to water supply. The difficulty we had was accessibility. It was difficult getting to the seat of the fire, and that is what hampered our operation.
And then what was causing the accessibility problem?
So, like I indicated, the place was built as stores, but it was being used as a what do we call it?
As warehouses of sorts?
Yeah, exactly, as warehouse as well. And you see, when you are using such a place as a warehouse, you need to segregate all the items that you store in there. If it is electrical gadgets should be at one side. If it is plastic materials, they should be at a different side. But in this case, everything has been put together. And that explains the reason why we are finding it difficult to completely extinguish the fire.
Very well. I'm grateful that you've spoken to us this morning here on the Morning Star.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. And we hope that the Ghana National Fire Service, like they are saying, at the end of the day, are able to deal with the fire and deal with it effectively. And so you've just heard us here speak on the Morning Star to Timothy Afum, who is with the Ghana National Fire Service. He is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service. It brings the time to 8:40 a.m. here on the Morning Star on Star 103.5 FM.